What's good, guys? We are back in Paris, guys. Almost a year since the last time we've been in Paris. This is the last minute predictions, guys. We're gonna be talking about each and every single fight, starting with the main event, ending with the early prelims. What I want to mention is that this crowd might be so loud that Renato Moicano, Benoit Saint-Denis might not even be able to hear what their coach is saying to them. So the only time that they might be able to hear their coaches is in between rounds. So this is gonna be an insane experience. Every time we go to France, there's always an insane crowd, guys. So let's get into it. Renato Moicano is a plus 220 versus Benoit Saint-Denis, who is a minus 270. This is going to be a barn burner. I feel somebody's going to get finished inside the distance, and I feel that this fight doesn't go the distance. It's juiced to the grills at a minus 700. Over 1.5 is minus 148. If you want to get fancy, under 1.5 is plus 116. I don't think that's likely. I don't want to push Benoit Saint-Denis into the expectations that he might not be able to achieve. Although he does have a lot of first-round finishes. Over 1.5 at a minus 148 is playable. I like it. It's not too much. It's not too fancy. Over 1.5, if it hits, I like it. Just take it as a straight play. Benoit Saint-Denis by sub or KO is a minus 185. I think that's one of the most likely outcomes. A guy like Renato Moicano has to take an absolute beating, and then he has to come back most of the times. He fought against Jousset, fought guys like Bryan Ortega, fought guys like Cub Swanson. If you guys saw the video from yesterday, we broke that down. Renato by decision or sub is plus 260 if you want to play that. I don't think it's very likely, but if you want to go, just go Renato by sub, plus 370. Sheen Brady is one thing that I want to mention against Gilbert Burns. He looked very lean against Gilbert Burns, very skinny, much leaner than what he normally looks. And he didn't look as heavy as he did when he was facing off against Gilbert Burns. I know that has nothing to do with this fight, but Benoit Saint-Denis is in that same position. He looks skinnier. He looks a lot more skinnier, a lot more lean, and a lot more in shape. It seems like he got a new regimen. Sheen Brady had one of the best performances of the lifetime against his performance against Gilbert Burns. I thought that was an amazing performance, and that's when he looked in the most shape. I feel BSD is on a new regimen. Seems like he had reevaluated his entire game. Moicano slows down in fights. Sometimes if BSD can push the pace a little longer, BSD can have a lot more success. I would love to hear Moicano on the mic after, because you know he always has an amazing speech, but he's going to have to go through absolute hell. And BSD isn't no Jalen Turner. He won't give him a chance to come back. Jalen let him off the hook. If BSD gets hurt, the ref is going to have to pull him off Saint-Denis. Saint-Denis will kill this man if this ref doesn't step in and saying, bro, you should probably quit. Moicano is a very talented grappler. I don't expect Moicano to lose by sub, but a guy like BSD, who is an absolute powerhouse, this fight won't last long. I see this ending inside the distance. BSD is this close to being an anchor for me. This close. Very close to being an anchor. I think he will by the end of the night. Let me know what you guys think of this fight. I think this fight ends inside the distance. Not only do I think this fight ends inside the distance, I think BSD by sub or KO at a minus 185 is not bad. And give me the over 1.5 in this fight. I'll take Benoit Saint-Denis to win this fight by masterclass. Absolute brutal beating. Give me round 2 or 3 KO for Benoit Saint-Denis. It's going to be a very good fight. We have to mention Renato Moicano's grappling, the upside of Renato Moicano. If you want to play Renato Moicano by sub, you can. If you want to play double chance, Renato by decision or sub, plus 260, that's not a bad play, guys. But give me Benoit Saint-Denis to win in his hometown crowd and have a successful night at Paris once again. Undefeated in Paris. Nassourdine Imavov versus Brendan Allen. This is a insane fight. We don't know if this was scheduled to be 5 rounds, and Nassourdine Imavov said, oh no, I don't want to fight 5 rounds. Let's do it 3. But we know that Brendan Allen was pushing for this fight to be 5 rounds. Minus 200 for Nassourdine Imavov. Brendan Allen is a plus 168. Imavov by points is plus 230. Imavov by KO or points is minus 175. Imavov by KO on points is one of the most likely outcomes. Over 2.5 at a minus 140. But I think this fight screams violence. Will this fight go the distance? No at a minus 116. Yes at a minus 110. Pick your poison. Pick your poison. It's beautiful juice. It's beautiful juice. Allen by sub, plus 700. If you want to go Allen, I don't think Allen can take the... Look, if Allen takes the back, I don't think Imavov is going to survive for 15 minutes with Allen on his back. Allen's going to be able to finish the fight if he takes a guy like Imavov down and he takes his back. If Brendan Allen gets on top of Imavov, I don't think Imavov survives 15 minutes. If Allen strikes with Imavov, I don't think he will be able to strike for 15 minutes. Violence is the answer. At even or plus money is the way to go. Clint messaged Chris Curtis, who fought them both. And what did Chris Curtis have to say? He said that he's not sure Imavov can survive the grappling, but if he does, he's winning. The fights are the best from the fighter's perspective. You know, the crybaby Chris Curtis, who fought both of them. Pick your poison. I'm going to go Imavov by decision, guys. I think it's one of the best plays. Not only do I think it's one of the best plays, but Imavov by KO or on points at a -175, I'll take that any day. Turns a -200 into a -175. You can get a little bit more juice out of it. If you want to go Brendan Allen, go Brendan Allen by submission. Give me Imavov to win this fight by points, specifically KO or decision. If it's going to be a KO, I see a late KO. I don't see it being early. It's going to be a very good fight, guys. Over 2.5 at a -140 is not bad at all either. It's just that you might be a little nervous if somebody like Allen takes Imavov's back. It's going to be a very good fight. No matter who you have, enjoy the fight. It's going to be amazing. Up the card, up the card. This was funny. This was funny, bro. This was funny, bro. We got the decision merchant. The decision merchant finally got what he got, what he deserved. Pull him. Yank him. Yank his ass. Yank. That's what you get, Gomis, for always being a boring-ass fighter. Okay, William Gomis, plus 245 versus Joanderson Brito. We know these guys already got some beef going on because he yanked his ass and he muscled his ass. Gomis didn't expect that. -300 for Brito, plus 245 for William Gomis. Brito by sub is plus 250. Brito by KO is plus 370 if you want to get fancy. Brito by KO or sub is plus 105. Brito by KO or points is -105. I don't know what's going on with these bookies. Brito by sub or points is -145. It's crazy because the bookies are all over this place. The bookies are all over Brito by finish. Gomis by decision or no action is the best play, guys. I don't see Gomis being able to finish a guy like Brito. If he does, come back here and comment it. Gomis by points is plus 360. William is the taller fighter versus a short and squat Brito. Brito is worth the chalk here. I like Gomis. He's been improving. He's tall, lanky, point striker. He's getting better, great skills, but I don't think he gets past Brito. Gomis makes real bad mistakes in the grappling department. I like Brito by sub. Biggest gap in the ground game. If they're striking for 15 minutes, Brito will struggle hard to find Gomis. Gomis finds his way with range. If he wins this fight, it's a long 15-minute boring decision. So thank you, Brito, for yanking him. Yank him one more time for me, please. Just yank him one more time for me. Yank him one more time, because that's what Gomis gets. That's what he gets, bro, for being a boring-ass fighter, bro. I like Brito to win. I like Brito to win this fight. He's playing with his food. I like Brito to win this fight, guys. Give me Brito by submission or on points at a -145 to win this fight and beat the hometown crowd in Paris. Brito, Brazil. Let's go, Brazil. Brazil just absolutely runs through France. Let's go. Brito by finish, submission, more playable, or points at a -145. It's going to be a fun fight. Let's go. Bryan battle, my lock of the week. Oh my God, I'm scared that this is lock of the week, guys, because AJ, Pick'em, and me, we all got the same lock of the week, and that makes me scared. That makes me scared as I'm shivering my timbers. I wrote a couple of notes for this. Kevin just said is a plus 142. Bryan battle is a -168, which is crazy because he opened up at a -130. We're going to talk about that. Bryan battle by KO or on points is a -115. I like that. Battle by sub or on points is a -125. I don't really see that happening. Over 2.5 is a -240. Over 2.5s are juiced onto this entire card. It's juiced. He used to be hella fat, in shape. Now he's in shape, right? Battle is great for welterweight. Maybe some people would say that he's more filled out for a middleweight, but I think welterweight's perfect for him. Jousset had a height advantage. Battle has a 2-inch reach advantage. He's lanky. Kevin is taller, man. Battle might look bigger in the cage once he fills up and all that fluid gets back in his spine. He might actually grow an inch or two. We know that that tends to happen. The fighters look way bigger than they look the day before. Sometimes in the cage, Bryan battle fills out a little bit more better, and he's more rehydrated, he's more replenished, and he looks almost the same size as Kevin Jousset. Kevin Jousset, city kickboxing, one of the greatest city kickboxing boxers, trains with guys like Israel Adesanya, trains at city kickboxing, and he's a problem in the striking department. This is going to be a very good striking battle. I think this goes all 15 minutes. I think the over 2.5 is very likely, and I think this is going to be a very good battle. I think Kevin Jousset can have a lot of success in the striking department if Bryan battle gets too timid and if he gets hurt. A guy like Bryan battle seems like maybe he can get cut very easily. Maybe his face can get cut very easily. Maybe like he has like a little bit of bruising here. Maybe he gets like hurt bad, but I don't see him getting finished, and I hope he doesn't. Battle opened up at a minus... He opened up at a minus 130, shot up to a minus 185, and now he's back to a minus 165. Good, solid resistance on the Kevin Jousset side. A lot of people are playing Kevin Jousset. They're just playing Kevin Jousset moneyline. I think moneyline is the best play on both of these sides. Kevin Jousset is a close fight. Very, very close fight. Battle looks like his face could be cut open a little bit, maybe easier than a guy like Kevin Jousset. I'm not going to go too much into the unknown. I'm going to go Bryan Battle to win this fight, guys, by 29-28 unanimous decision. And specifically, Bryan Battle by KO on points at a minus 115. But you don't have to get fancy. The money line already shrunk at a minus 165, minus 168. So jump on it right now. Lock of the week, Bryan Battle. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Miranda, Hitler versus Morgan Charriere. Minus 750 for Morgan Charriere. Plus 530 for Gabriel Miranda. Minus 1. Bro, 146 for both of them. They both made weight. That's what I like to hear. A girl later on this card didn't make weight, and I don't really like that. 146, both of them make weight. Morgan is in shape. Looks very good in shape. Fight doesn't go the distance. Is probably one of the most likely outcomes for this fight. We know a guy like Gabriel Miranda has 3 minutes of cardio. Miranda is the bigger opponent. But the thing with Miranda, guys, I just lost myself. Here we go. Miranda's the bigger opponent, but wasn't that much larger. Morgan, I find that interesting because I thought the height would be more discrepant. Gabriel has a good solid 3 minutes of cardio, strong grappler, hits hard, but good striking. He just wants to take your back. If he can't, he doesn't have a lot to offer. Morgan tends to start off slow, but he's got great takedown defense and even better get-up game. It's hard to get down. It's hard to get him down, and it's even harder to keep him there. How are you trusting a guy with 10 losses at a minus 600? Let me explain to you how. I'm okay with parlaying because, frankly, round 1 sub is the only path to victory for Miranda. You heard that right. Round 1 sub is the only path to victory for Miranda. He's not getting backpack for 15 minutes. Morgan for 15 minutes. Worst case scenario is Morgan wins a 29-28 unanimous decision and he doesn't get the finish. That's why I didn't want to play that, but I think Miranda's sub props are great. If this fight hits the mat, it could get interesting. I don't think so. Morgan Charriere is very good, and he won against Chepe Mariscal. So let's go Morgan Charriere, preferably inside the distance. And let's go. Worst case scenario, Morgan Charriere wins a 29-28 unanimous decision. Amazing fight, amazing fight. Trying to improve my vocabulary as I get on, as I get better into these fights, as I get better at talking. Matt Frevola versus Ziam. Frevola scared him. He scared him with that. Ziam's trying to little bro Frevola, like he's trying to put his arm on him and like trying to little bro him. I don't really like that. Who is this guy, Ziam? This guy what? Who is this guy? Faris Ziam versus Matt Frevola. Let me explain to you who he is. Ziam is a minus 130. Earlier in the week, he was an underdog. Versus plus 110 for Matt Frevola. Big fights for the fans. Both guys came in at 156. Let's get him a little closer. They get closer. Yes. Let's go. Big fights for both fans. The fans are in for a treat. Both fighters made 156. Matt looked good for the weigh-ins. Ziam tall, long, lanky, great build, tough fight to call. Ziam height advantage and reach advantage. He tried to little bro Frevola. Matt scared the shit out of the UFC brass when the UFC tried to separate them. He made a long ki-ya. He went ki-ya. And I'm going off track, but everyone thought he was going to fight. LMAO, Ziam, short favorite, minus 130, plus 110. Most of the money's on Frevola. Less bets are on Ziam, but it keeps getting wide. This is a big red flag for me. Ziam is the side the sharp people believe will win this fight. I lean towards Ziam early. We need Ziam to get... Okay, we've seen Ziam get taken down, right? He got taken down 8 times by Claudio Puelles. Frevola has a chance, but if he grapples, I don't know what I'm going to get with Frevola. Frevola, what are you going to do? Are you going to grapple or are you going to play like a dumbass and strike for 15 minutes with Ziam? We don't know. Frevola got taken down 8 times by Claudio Puelles. If Frevola strikes with Ziam, we'll be at a disadvantage. I don't know what Frevola's game plan is going to be. Frevola is a plus 115 now. It's tempting. I just wish I knew what he was going to do. I don't want him to stand and bang with Ziam. Ziam needs to keep range to win. Frevola needs to wrestle. Height and reach is something, and it's a big advantage for a guy like Ziam. Frevola struggles with... And maybe Ziam has more power. And he's shown Ziam by KO. It's crazy because it's a plus 250. Frevola by KO is a plus 550. Even the bookies are telling you it's more likely Ziam gets a KO. That's crazy and that's a trap. I think this fight screams 1-800-GAMBLER, and I'm not touching this fight with a 10-foot pole. But if I got to pick one, give me Ziam, and I'm going an official pick flip, guys. I know I picked Frevola, but give me Ziam to win this fight, guys, and give me him to be the hometown crowd and win in France. I think a guy like Frevola needs to wrestle, but I don't know too much about Frevola, like about his game plan. Of course, I know everything about Frevola, and I've watched his entire UFC career live. But with that being said, I'm going to go Ziam to win this fight, specifically inside the distance. And I'm going to just take the money line. Give me minus 130. You guys pick your poison. I think money line is great on both sides. Don't get fancy with it. We never know what could happen. You know, no contest. We never know. So give me Ziam to win this fight, guys. Official pick flip. Here we go. Ian Cutelaba versus Ivan Erslan. Ian Cutelaba minus 102. He was the favorite all week until now. Ivan Erslan's a minus 116. Money line is the best play. If you jumped on Erslan early, you got him at plus money. Now he's a slight favorite. Under 1.5 is a minus 160. Look at this guy, bro. Look at this guy, bro. Look at this guy. Who is this guy? Who is this? Who are you trying to scare, bro? Who are you trying to scare? You not that guy. You won one fight in your last 5, and that was Tanner Boser, who's no longer in the UFC. You suck. Ian Cutelaba, minus 102. Ivan Erslan's a minus 116. Moneyline's the best play, like I said. Under 1.5 has hit multiple times in Ian Cutelaba fights, but we know with Ian Cutelaba, you never know what to expect. Ivan by KO on points is minus 105. Why would I take that if his money line is a minus 116? What? I want to save, what, 10 points? What, $5? Money line is the best play. Like I said, don't get fancy. In case something weird, something random happens here, there's not enough meat on the bone. I'm trying to say Ivan by KO. I'm a big Ian fan, but it's about time he gets cut from the UFC. All talk, no game in the cage. All talk just for a little baby ass chin. I'm gonna go Ivan Erslan to win this fight, guys. One of my 6 best bets. He's on it. Let's go Ivan Erslan. Let's go Ivan Erslan to win this fight inside the distance. Give me him money line at minus 116. Here we go. Here we go. The crowd's going to be loud for this fight. Loud for this fight. Especially with a guy like Ian Cutelaba who paints his face and is a little over dramatic and is a little diva for no reason when he puts on performances like that. Here we go. Oumar Sy versus Woon Jung. If you're picking Woon Jung, let me know. Let me know if you're picking Woon Jung. You know 90% of the bets are on Oumar Sy. Oumar Sy is a minus 510. Woon Jung plus 390. Over 1.5 is a minus 146. Oumar Sy by sub is plus 135. Sy by KO or sub, minus 155. I think that's the most likely outcome. But if you want to go Sy by sub or points, it's minus 220. So that's how you know it's the safer side and it's the safest bet. Sy by sub or points, minus 220. Woon Jung used to be a prospect, one of the biggest prospects from where he comes from. Now he's on a 3-fight losing skid. He's talking about a larger opponent, Oumar. He's huge, well-built. Guy can wrestle his ass off. Transitions to the back well. Oumar by sub will be very impressive if he can get this done. Woon Jung, he played a spoiler before. He's played spoiler before, guys. We know Woon Jung has played spoiler before, and specifically he's played spoiler against guys like William Knight, Sam Alvey, and Kennedy Nzechukwu, who we all know are trash. I know a lot of people want to fade Sy, but give me Sy by sub, and he's parlayable too. I'm going to get fancy with it, and I'm going to go Sy by sub at a minus 150. I'm going to go Sy by sub. Just Sy by sub, and I'm going to go Sy by sub at a plus 135 and over 1.5 at a minus 146. So I'm taking both of those. I'll take the over 1.5 at a minus 146 and Oumar Sy just straight by submission at a plus 135. Give me both of those. I'll take those any day. Any day. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ľudovít Klein versus Roosevelt Roberts. Roosevelt Roberts is tall. One of the tallest fighters I've ever seen against a guy like maybe Ľudovít Klein makes him look like that. But one thing I want to mention is Ľudovít Klein opened up at a 1200. Now he's minus 1150. He reduced by 50 points. I don't know why. Why even do that? What's the point of that? Plus 730 for Roosevelt Roberts. Ľudovít Klein by KO is minus 105. If you want to just go by KO minus 105, that's fine. But you don't want to be biting your nails and then he doesn't get a KO. Who a guy who I think he should be able to get a KO. If he doesn't get a KO, then you look terrible in my opinion. But you know, with a guy like Ľudovít Klein, you never know what to expect. He's a powerhouse. Ľudovít Klein by KO on points is the safer side. But at a minus 390, do I really want to play that? That's juice to the grills. Ľudovít by sub or points is plus 115. He could get a sub here. He could definitely muscle a guy like Roosevelt Roberts. I don't see any chance for Roosevelt Roberts. And I think I see him as a sacrificial lamb to get fed to the wolves. Ľudovít likes to fence grab a lot. He does cheat sometimes. Let's go Klein, but at a 10-1 favorite, and he's at a 3-foot height disadvantage. I have no interest in betting Roosevelt as a dog. Ľudovít loves to go to a close decision. He likes to make fights a little bit closer than they need to be. When Ľudovít wins, his wrestling is on point, hits really hard. I like the under 2.5. Give me the under 2.5 and give me the over 1.5. I believe the over 1.5 is in this fight as well. I'll take the over 1.5, and I'll tell you exactly what it's at, guys. I'll tell you exactly what it's at right now. Ľudovít Klein is reducing. He's a minus 1,000 now that we speak. Total rounds over 1.5 is a minus 154. I'll take that as well. I don't know why he keeps on shrinking. He was a minus 1,200. Now he's a minus 10,000. Like, literally, he just shrunk live as I'm going over it. Taylor Lapilus versus Vince Morales. Vince Morales, dyed hair, looks crazy. Taller fighter. I guess that's his only advantage. Minus 350 for Taylor Lapilus. Vince Morales is a plus 280. Will this fight go the distance? Yes, at a minus 280. Taylor Lapilus by points is my best prop at a minus 145. Vince, short notice, just got a UFC contract. He said yes, sir, with zero hesitation. He's fighting a guy who's really hard to look good against, a guy who controls range. Vince Morales is the bigger man, way bigger. Lapilus by decision is most likely outcome. France needs this guy to shine. We know that this fight wasn't meant to happen. This fight got added an additional fight to this card. We don't know how long Taylor Lapilus has been training for. I'm going to say Taylor Lapilus was prepared for this fight and knew that he was going to fight on this card and planned to fight on this card. So I'm going to go Taylor Lapilus by points, specifically at a minus 145. I'm not going to get fancy with it. Taylor Lapilus at a minus 350. We'll see if he fits the price tag, but I don't see any chance for Vince Morales to win. If you guys do, let me know. I'm trying to improve my vocabulary a little bit better. Ailín Pérez versus... Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good, bro. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. Ailín Pérez, only fighter to miss weight. Why? Maybe because of her dump truck. Maybe she got too much back there in her bandwagon. That's why she missed weight. But all jokes aside, she was like fighting to make weight, and she was shaking, and she was convulsing. She almost passed out. Very, very sketchy. Very sketchy. Minus 215, all in for Pérez. Ailín Pérez versus plus 180, Darya Zelenková. Zelenková is taller by a lot. They exchanged a little bit of words. Very, very interesting because Ailín by KO on points is a minus 185. Maybe the KO isn't likely, but to turn minus 215 into a minus 185 is a little bit better, and you get a little bit more juice. Ailín is notable in distress. She almost died on the scales. She's just trying to hold her shit together on the scale as her body's convulsing. Her body's ready to buckle, and she was forcing herself across the finish line, and that's exactly the kind of weight miss we want to bet against. When you look that bad on your body and your body's convulsing, she really sucked herself down. She truly tried. She missed by half a pound. She didn't come in 3 pounds over and put on a sad face like Chepe Mariscal, who did a couple of weeks ago. She tried to kill herself to make weight. This is what we're looking for at a plus 220. Is not bad for a dog. Ailín is the shorter. She has a reach disadvantage. When they face off, Zelenková looked massive. She fought a big wrestler in Rendon. Rendon took her down, but when she did, she got right back up. Now, it's a shorter, stockier version of Rendon. Of that person, when she fought Jocelyn Edwards, Ailín Pérez tried to go for a hip toss. At one point, Jocelyn Edwards is smaller than Zelenková. Ailín won't be able to just hip toss her. This girl is long, really tall. I think Pérez is going to have a long night on the feet with her. She has to take her down. She has to take her down. If Ailín Pérez doesn't take her down, she's in for a rude awakening, bro. If she doesn't take her down, she's going to get fucked. Like, bad. Bro, she's talking, she's twerking. Marab is smacking her butt. Ailín Pérez, where are you at? Are you here? Are you here? What you doing? I don't know, but the over 2.5 at a minus 320 is my most likely play, my most safest play, and I'm gonna go Ailín Pérez. I think Zelenková has a lot of success. If you want to do a live bet, that's gonna be my play. I'm gonna do a live bet. It's probably the most interesting after round 1. And we'll see if Ailín Pérez can get her sloppy way and hip toss her and try to get her to the ground. I don't think Ailín Pérez is that good of a striker. If she has to strike 15 minutes with a girl like Darya, she's going to be in for a rude awakening, guys. And Maybe she could win. I like the dog for this fight, but I'm going to go Ailín Pérez to win this fight by 29-28 unanimous decision. And she tried to twerk, but the camera was not in for that. I don't know why the camera didn't zoom out. Here we go. Daniel Pérez versus Victor Altamirano. Daniel Pérez is a plus 112. Victor Altamirano is a minus 210. Over 2.5 is minus 310. A lot of over 2.5s that are juiced to the grills, bro. Juiced to the absolute grills. And if we get like last Paris where we get a couple of finishes, a lot of these over 2.5s that are minus 400, minus 310, minus 250 are going to be plus money on the other side. Money line is the best play here. Victor has a slight height and reach advantage. I like Victor, man. I like watching this guy fight. Advantage. Daniel Pérez is the aggressor, more finishing power, but at the same time, Victor is really hard to put away. We know the finishing side is on Daniel Pérez. Pérez early, Victor late. But a lot of fighters on this card that are going... a lot of fighters that are on this card going to an over, a bunch of juiced overs at 2.5 on this card. There could be a lot of finishes, but I think Victor wins by decision. What I wanted to say was there's a lot of over 2.5s that are juiced to the grills. And I don't like that. Especially when there's fights like this where sometimes there could be a finish where we don't expect it and something crazy happens. Give me Victor Altamirano to win this fight by 29-28 unanimous decision. And I'm going to just take Victor money line. I'm going to just take Victor at a minus. I'm going to just take Victor money line, guys. I think that's the best play. Not only do I think that's the best play, but this is going to be a very close fight. So minus 132 for Victor and plus 112 for Daniel Pérez. Give me the minus 132 and just give me money line. I'll just take money line straight. Ooh, we got a rematch. Nora Cornell versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Nora Cornell is a plus 176. Jacqueline Cavalcanti is a minus 210. Over 2.5 is minus 360. It's very likely, but what I said, these juiced overs. Cavalcanti by points is minus 130. One of my best props for this fight. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Get your ass out the camera. Cornell by points is plus 390. One thing I really wanted to mention was Cornell by KO on points at a plus 190. If you really like the dog, a lot of people are like the dog. I was watching DFS. A lot of people are on this dog. Jacqueline by KO on points is a minus 210. That's the same as her. That's literally the same as what she is already. So you don't have to get fancy with it. If you want to just take Jacqueline Cavalcanti, just take her money line. But if you want to get fancy, take Cavalcanti by points. Just straight. Barn burner fight. Fight against the first fight. Nora had no answer for the speed. Jacqueline, there were several times where Nora was on skates by Jacqueline's speed. She was impressed by her speed. Nora would muscle her way through and land a couple of shots. Very slight chance at violence, but I believe Jacqueline will be quick, too smooth for Nora unless she gets caught. She did take a lot of damage against Nunes. Nora should be way more prepared, and this will be more of a competitive fight. Nora hits very hard, under 2.5. Is the play. Let me just make sure what the under 2.5 is. It's a plus 338. Scrap that. Crumple that piece of paper and throw it out in the trash. Over 2.5. We're going over 2.5, guys. Sorry. We're going over 2.5. And I'm going to take Jacqueline Cavalcanti to win this fight by points at a minus 130. Rematch. I love me some rematches. And the prelim. Woo! Balahi Oki versus Chris Duncan. They get into each other's faces. This is what I like. I don't like a guy like Ian Cutelaba who just pretends and puts on makeup and then puts on a performance just to get knocked out. Balahi Oki minus 180 versus Chris Duncan plus 152. Under 2.5 is a minus 128. Over 2.5 is a plus 100. A lot of the bookies expect this fight to not go the distance. They get right into each other's face. This is one of my most anticipated fights of the entire card. We saved the best for last, baby. Balahi Oki by KO is a plus 135. If we're looking at the bookies and the bookies say that the over 2.5 is plus 100 and the under 2.5 is minus 128, if I take Balahi by KO is a plus 135. But if we want to be safe, let's go Oki by KO on points at a minus 170. I think that's the most likely outcome. Chris Duncan is the larger physically. Oki is untested. He was not exciting in his debut. This will be a firefight, and Oki should find the kill shot. Chris Duncan is going to try to go in. He's going to try to get in, try to set his jab. He's going to try to take in a couple of punches just to give in a couple of punches. And I think a guy like Oki can KO a guy like Chris Duncan to start off the France card. So give me Oki by KO or on points at a -170. If he's going to win this fight by points, give me specifically by 29-28 after he loses the first round. So, with all that being said, let's go. I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown. Oki to win this fight by KO. Jacqueline Cavalcanti to win by points at a -130. Daniel Pérez to win his fight just took him... No, not Daniel Pérez. Victor Aldomediano to win this fight just took him money line. Ailín Pérez to win, but that is a 1-800 gambler fight, and she looked terrible on the scales. Taylor Lapilus to win his fight by decision, specifically at a -145. Ian Cutelaba versus Erslan. I got Ivan Erslan. I'm just taking money line. Faris Ziam versus Matt Frevola. I'm going to take Ziam, and I'm going to just take money line. Morgan Charriere versus Gabriel Miranda. I'm going to take Morgan Charriere to win this fight inside the distance. Kevin Jousset versus Bryan Battle. I'm going to take Bryan Battle, lock of the week. William Gomis versus Joanderson Brito. I'm going to take Brito, and I'm going to take Brito by submission or on points at a -145. Nassourdine Imavov versus Brendan Allen. I'm going to take Imavov by points. Imavov by points is a +230, but I'm going to take Imavov by KO or on points at a -175. Because somebody might get finished that fight. And Benoit Saint-Denis versus Renato Moicano. I'm going to take the over 1.5 at a -148. And I'm going to take Benoit Saint-Denis to win this fight by KO or submission at a -185. So with all that being said, give me Oki by KO just to reevaluate your decisions. And I hope you guys liked this video, guys. Tried to get a little bit better with the vocabulary. And I tried not to say guys that much. You know, guys. Because we got all different types of people watching. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys liked the video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.